One of the things that I know was really difficult for me was, man, social media, entertainment. Man, that mess was difficult. And then when I really started realizing I had giftings and stuff and social media management and things like that, that's what areas I was supposed to go into. That's when the enemy like really, really tried to get in and open up doors and stuff like that. And one thing that really, really helped me was just realizing with everything, you have to know that there's a spiritual intent with everything that you basically um, consume. Like, for example, a lot of times the Constitution is an example that comes up all the time of just, in the Constitution, they would write certain things that, the content would say this. But really what they was really trying to figure out is like, okay, this is the law. This is what they were saying, but what was the spirit of it? Like what was the intent? What was the purpose or the nature of these people who wrote it? What did they actually mean? Because just saying, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men were created equal. Well, obviously that wasn't their true intent or their nature or their meaning because they had slaves. That was three-fourths of human beings and stuff like that. So obviously they didn't mean all men. They was excluding somebody. So you really need to know that the nature, the intent, of these people. Uh and I really had to learn that with social media because we see there's all types of images and stuff like that that they put on social media. And first things first, these apps, they make them to where they try to keep you on. Like TikTok has become so addicting that it is already 1 month, it already shot past YouTube in watch hours. YouTube that's been around for forever, TikTok then came and just took the young ages over and took all these ages over to where it didn't shot up that fast. So one, they design them for to make you addicted. Then two, the people who make this content, they're pulling their inspiration from somewhere, some type of influence, some type of person or whatever it was that inspired them to make this type of content. So they're pulling their inspiration for something that had a spiritual intent. And then they come and they give it to you and and then it projects a spiritual intent on you. Like, for example, I'll call his name out. I used to listen to an artist called Trey Songz. People know Trey Songz. And he has this reputation of, he a playboy. He sleep with all these different women. He do this, he do that. I'd find myself when I listened to his music, next thing you know, I'd be out and I have to catch myself. I'd be like, I'd be out looking and then it'd just be like, man, I don't need to be looking that way. I don't need to be looking at how I don't need to be doing this. I don't need to be doing that. And then I'd be like, I'd go to the father, like, dang, Father, what's going on? I ain't really, this ain't me. Then next thing you know, he bring up that song in my head. That song would start playing. And I'd be like, oh, that's that man's nature and his spirit. When he sings them songs, he's projecting it. And you listening to it and you pick up on that. And whether some people are out forth with it. You know what I'm saying? Drink alcohol, do drugs, pop pills, sleep with a bunch of women. Some people are out forth with it, like, hey, this is the intent of my music. This is what I want you to do. I want you to get buck in the club when you hear this song. You know what I'm saying? Punch somebody. Other people, they do it they manipulate you. They kind of hide it and just get it to you through the music. It's the same way with like other sources of media. Like I used to watch skits, like a lot of comedy skits. Well, yeah, the comedy skit might be innocent, but it's this woman up in here. They keep having women in it that's like half naked. Well, that's projecting an image. Like she has a spirit that's influenced her that has an intent that when you see that, it's trying to make you lust. So I really have to like catch myself and really like be like, I gotta control how much content that I'm consuming. Because whatever influence is making them do that has a spiritual intent that's trying to get to you and ingrain something in your mind, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. So it's like I really had to catch that. And I was just like, because the more and more I started like meditating, seeking the Father, doing this, doing that, you'll notice when you start clearing yourself out, there's some things along with him that you'll be like, as I'm clearing out and cleaning out this closet, I'm starting to see there's more stuff in here that I didn't even know was in here.
Mm.
And
Right.
then I was like, it's all coming from that media. That's that to retain your mind, and that's what it's meant to do. So that's one thing I had, because I ain't gonna lie, like I would sit around and just get excited. I'd have my mind like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 5 in the morning. I'm gonna pray in tongues till 6. I'm gonna read the word till 7. I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna listen to a message while I'm doing it, and then I can't wait to be done because I can't wait to get on this. I can't wait to see what they're talking about on YouTube today. And I was like, that got to stop. Something going on. So that was another thing that was hard for me.
Right.
You too
You can
deep.
go ahead, DJ.
No.
Yeah, he deep. He deep. I was like, what?
Folks they gonna change the channel. They don't like you messing with music. You can't be talking about Beyonce now. She got a whole church.
Bro, she told y'all she had a demon in her.
Talking about Sasha Fierce?
Yeah, she told y'all, just like Nicki Minaj told them people. But they just be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna still buy the album.
I'm gonna stick by him.
Well, I mean, Dr. Larry said, and it makes so much sense now when he was talking about that they become that, because we know that a father is a source. So when you listen to their music, they're really using it as their father. Like he talked about it today. But their fathers are like Nicki Minaj or Beyonce or other people, and some people say, well, they ain't men, so how can it be fathers? It's because that's the source. That's where they drawing from. And some people buy all their albums, buy everything they put out, buy all of this, all of that, because they're being influenced by their music to do so. And Octavian, he basically just shared like it is a spiritual influence. But one thing when it comes to entertainment too is that it really is there because it starts young. They really want to get in the kids, and if they can get in the kids and get the kids addicted, then as you get older, you become more desensitized to what's actually going on in the media, because it's like it's small constant changes. So it's nothing that's there that's just, it's blatant. But as you get older, it becomes common in society. And therefore, when you hear it, it's like, well, that's just music, or that's just this, or that's just that. There's so many things today that, if you talk to somebody older and they look at it, they just like, that's just, they'll say something like that. Just women just half naked everywhere. And that's without even being born again. You'll hear them say that. Because growing up in their time, it wasn't like that. So a lot of things that we see today are a byproduct of what was in media. They push stuff, like some people now are. I know some people don't believe this, but pedophilia. So there's a lot. There's going to be a big push for pedophilia the older we get. Like as far as it being normal, because there's so many subtle things in it now, like having like kids as young as 9 or 10, little girls not wearing as much clothes, but still it was a show on Netflix.
Yeah, I was just about to say Netflix and already test the waters to see what the society at with it.
Right. So as soon as people get you got these young kids and you groom them in it to just be like, well, it don't matter what you do, it's your life. And you keep pushing that agenda, keep pushing that thought, that precept, then as they get older, it don't matter. I mean, that's just what it is. And that's how you wake up and be in hell. So
well, there we go.
Out of here.
But I don't want to take up too much time. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh man, you good? You was flowing. I think it was, like you said, the media is a medium. It's a medium, and what we've learned is that media can be filtrated. It don't have to be filtrated. It goes directly to your soul, and so, and the enemy knows that, and he knows that music controls cultures right now, because you got people, my Caucasian brothers out here trying to dance like the Africans over there in Ethiopia and things like that, or whatever, and because of media. And then you got the places like Facebook, which has gathered people from all different types of countries and states and things like that. They all now share a commonality on social media, their platform, and so the enemy knows that, and he knows that the majority of the users for those social media platforms are young people, and so when it enters in, they stick their agenda in the music, and then they also stick little subtle things that was desensitizing people. And I'll give an example. So we can watch a movie now, and you can see about 200 people killed, get shot. I mean, graphic stuff. And you just, just like, this movie is, it's okay type thing. Like, what got us to that point? That a man being disconnected from his purpose, being separated from his earthly, purpose and mission to do, now it's so desensitized that we don't even think about it. And so, yeah, I definitely think that's difficult, especially for young men, because it's all been systematically put in place. They uprooted the sources, the fathers out of the household, and they replaced it with media. And the enemy, because I was thinking about this the other day, Holy Spirit was telling me, like, I'm always after the median. The Father's always after the median, meaning I want to destroy whatever is in between you and getting to your purpose. Because one thing that, whoever's listening, you may think you found your purpose, but if it didn't come from the Holy Spirit, and we learned this today, one of the things, it has to come through the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit searches the most inner parts of the Father. And it says even the deep things of the Father, even the ones concerning us. So we know that in order to get our purpose and get our mission as ambassadors in the earth, we have to have that connection with the Holy Spirit. And the enemy knows that. And so he tries to put another median there, because the Holy Spirit always needs to be the median between us and whatever it is. Just like we talked about loving our wives, the Holy Spirit has to be in the middle of that so that we can reveal the heart of the Father. And so the same thing with media. The enemy knows that if I try to uproot, get them out of the spirit, and get them back in the soulish realm, I can push whatever agenda, and I can control the whole culture. And again, that's how powerful media is, because even music has now went into like the political realm. So you got people like, people in our local government now, feeling into these artists, and just that agenda is so prevalent. And when you said that, I mean, you woke up some stuff, because again, people don't want you to talk about it, but that's what's destroying the minds of our young men. And their pattern are, these rappers that degrade women, and their kids in private school, they wearing suits. When they not performing, but the music is telling you something different. So, man, when you touch that, I mean, we can talk about that all day.